I'm just choking to
Now
death.
you know what it feels like to die that way.
It was.
To die that
I'm not
way.
sure what it was like to watch, but
Yeah.
it was.
It was quite
But just to experience it.
It wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so much nicer to just die in your sleep.
It's quite
You know what I mean?
interesting.
Just
Yeah.
pass quietly like that. You can see why spirits, when they go on the other side, they might need a lot of healing before they can even move them on.
But it just says the importance of doing it not on your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's knowing, it's having people around you trust, really. That's the kind of key thing. Because you know, once you get into that type of state there, the kind of lead on is that energy can then effectively possess her body from there on in. So if you can't get it out, and it's now taken over, as you could see physically, it's got control and it's feeling it, then if you can't get rid of it, you're in a bit of a difficult place then, really. And that's where, of course, the guides come in, because I can't do anything, so you need spiritual help to sort. Every case is different, so it's not like one size fits all type thing. It's just when you experience different things, you get to kind of know at what point to kind of try and stop things. And it became pretty apparent she was she was dying.
She was choked to death.
I mean, God forbid we hadn't been around. What would have happened?
Well, I guess if we weren't around, she wouldn't have been in
I
that
wouldn't have had
situation
that
to start with.
experience.
Yeah.
No, but then that spirit could have accessed somebody else somewhere else
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
and maybe choked them to death.
So would there be cases where that would happen spontaneously to someone, and let's say they die, at home choking? Well, could it be that it's not them, it's someone else who hasn't realised they're dead, that's reliving their death experience because they've been able to?
Yeah, I don't, in my opinion, not normally, because normally
Okay.
you've got control of your own body and your spirit's incorporated and you're not kind of giving it away. But in this setting, whereby you're actually opening yourself
Right.
up, and
Okay.
you're inviting and you're allowing yourself to kind of be used. People that are quite good at doing trance quite easily can take the spiritual part of you out of your body and just go off and do something different. But if you don't lock the back door, effectively you're leaving it open for something else to hop in.
And when you say lock the back door, what do you mean?
Well, you put yourself in your protected
Oh, your
bubble,
protected
and
bubble,
you know
okay.
that you're protected, so you only kind of leave yourself when you know that.
So you're leaving effectively in your bubble, let's say.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's the kind of key. 'Cause that's obviously a few people that have been, in car accidents and stuff, and they've been in comas, and then when they wake up, it's a completely different personality. And when I spoke to Chen, I said, "What is going on?" He said, basically, that person elected to die at that point, and because there's kind of like a big list of people or energies that want to experience a human life, rather than just let the body go, they just take over.
Yeah.
So they
So
so
that
one
would be,
walk in,
yeah.
So one walks out, the walks in, they wake up, and the family find they've got a completely different personality in the same body.
People
They can't
call it
understand.
replacement reincarnation, but I think we might as well keep it as possession
Well, yeah.
because it's just that's what it is.
Someone's possessed that body
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't born into it in the first place, effectively. So that was quite a good thing to see as well, wasn't it?
So there are people
Quite
who are
visual.
predisposed to having someone step into them. Is that
Not normally, it doesn't tend to happen every week, really. Normally you're quite good at keeping them out, actually. aren't you? But
It
One of my
has happened
students,
before.
Emily Perini, did she'd worked for years with the Valley of the Golden Dawn, the Valley do Amanhecer in Brazil. And they do have temples in this country, but they develop, you'd be, they always work together with the one who incorporates the spirit and the facilitator standing behind them. And they see, well, the spirits choose really which they're best for, and they would classically say, okay, you need to train as the one who incorporates spirits. You've obviously got that facility, but it has to be really trained, and you have to have the facilitator to do it safely.
Because I have been left with some unstuck stuff
Yeah.
before, which is not very good, obviously.
The Buddhists do that, and the Dalai Lama speaks with the spirit. I've watched documentaries on that.
They have mediums who incorporate and speak to him, but this would be a kind of classic one where you need a facilitator and you need the training so that you're not left vulnerable.
My understanding is that every hospital in this country has a chaplaincy. where people can go and seek religious and spiritual support in the event of someone dying in hospital. But it poses the question, doesn't it, to what extent do they have this kind of knowledge that we're talking about here today? How many doctors, nurses and hospital staff and chaplains in hospitals would really appreciate what we're talking about here today?
From my understanding, a lot of nurses certainly see an awful lot of stuff
I mean,
that they
Alan
cannot see
Sanderson
elsewhere.
was asked to retire, take early retirement when he started treating his patients. He was a consultant psychiatrist and started treating his patients. And he was asked to take, in his 80s now, still working, outside the system, still trying to educate the system. So it's such an enormous effort, an enormous job to try to re-educate the mainstream. It's a virtually impossible task because the attitudes are so deeply entrenched. And it's my feeling that the only way that we can work effectively is behind the scenes with circles like this, where we can make a contribution to the well-being of these hospitals.